If you're looking for the perfect gluten-free chocolate chip cookie recipe, these almond flour cookies are for you. They taste remarkably like the kind made with white flour and sugar, and they have the perfect chewy texture. The fact that they are grain-free and paleo-friendly is just a bonus because I feel like you wouldn't be able to tell just by tasting them. To get started, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. You'll need a 1/3 cup of softened butter or a 1/4 cup of melted coconut oil if you want to keep this recipe dairy-free. Add in 3/4 cup of coconut sugar or any other granulated sugar that you like and mix well. An electric mixer would come in handy here, but mine just broke, so a spatula works too. Next, you'll add in 1 egg and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. If you need an egg-free recipe, be sure to check out my vegan almond flour cookies because they are already dairy-free and egg-free. And that version is sweetened with maple syrup if that is your preferred sweetener of choice. Mix the dough together, then add in 2 cups of blanched almond flour. This is not to be confused with almond meal, which is made from ground whole almonds. Blanched almond flour is made from almonds that have had their skin removed, so it will give you a crispier, chewier cookie, while almond meal will give you a softer, more cake-like cookie. Add in a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, then stir well until the batter is thick and uniform. Now it's time to stir in the chocolate chips. I'm using about 3/4 cup here, but if you use mini chocolate chips, you'll only need a 1/2 cup. Fold those in, then use a tablespoon or a 1-ounce cookie scoop to scoop the dough. Line a large baking sheet with parchment paper, then add the cookie dough, leaving about 1 to 2 inches of space between the cookies so that they can spread. Bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 to 12 minutes, or until the edges start to look lightly golden. The cookies will puff up as they bake, so I like to tap the pan on the counter a few times as soon as I remove them from the oven, so the cookies will flatten out a bit more. Let the cookies cool for at least 15 minutes on the pan, and then they are ready to eat. Almond flour cookies have the best taste and texture the same day you bake them, and they will get softer if you leave them out at room temperature, so be sure to store any leftovers in the fridge. This recipe makes roughly 24 cookies, but if you don't want to bake them all at once, you can also freeze them into individual mounds. Then store them in an airtight container in the freezer. When you're in the mood for a freshly baked cookie, you can place the frozen cookie dough on a pan and let it thaw briefly as the oven preheats to 325 degrees. Once the oven is hot, bake the frozen cookie dough for 12 to 15 minutes or until the cookies start to spread and look lightly golden. They turn out just as delicious as the fresh version. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below, and be sure to check out my other videos here for more fast and easy real food recipes.